Hi people! We're entering into December, meaning that there are only a few episodes of Heartland Season 15 left for us to explore. It's a shame, of course, since we cannot stand being left without Heartland. However, it's also good news because we know that Heartland keeps its best episodes towards the end of a season. Therefore, we're sure that the upcoming episodes will all be top-notch, keeping us all at the edge of our seats. In the previous episode, we felt major deja vu since we watched Amy struggling with the loss of Ty once again. This struggle was the constant theme of Season 14, which is the only season of Heartland that the fandom collectively disliked. In the episode, we watched Amy experiencing an undesirable coincidence in which she comes across the man who killed Ty. It was a traumatic event for her, as she was just about to get over what had happened and move on with her life. However, this incident caused her to remember everything once again, going through all the pain. We empathize with her throughout the episode, as it was very emotional for us to see her being upset like that. We, as the fans, are still angry about Ty's death. Therefore, it's only natural for us to click with Amy on the issue. Even though the episode was an emotional roller coaster, for the most part, it ended on a positive note. Amy struggled to keep her clashing feelings in order at first. She was hating the man that shot Ty, but she was also aware of the fact that violence was not the solution. She was missing Ty like crazy, but she was also clear that she had to move on since the show must go on. These conflicting feelings came all in order towards the end of the episode, as Amy not only confronted the murderer of her husband, but also openly expressed that she is ready to continue with her life. She said, "I am happy," for the first time in a year, which was a turning point for her character arc and the show. The episode marked that from now on, we will not watch a sad and lonely Amy. Instead, we will watch Amy rising from her ashes. We believe that episode 8 will be the starting point of this new character arc for her. We expect this episode to pave the way for a new love interest for Amy. Amy was just a teenage girl when she fell in love with Ty in the first place. They had an amazing romance for more than a decade, even though it had a tragic ending. Ty will always be her one, true life, the love of her life. However, this doesn't mean that she will never love again. We know that some fans cannot stand the idea that another man can have a place in Amy's heart. And yet, Amy is still very young, and it's unfair for her to give up on love at such an early age. She deserves to be happy. We know that she is already enjoying her life with Lindy and seems to have no interest in going back into dating. And yet, if she meets with someone extraordinary or starts to see someone familiar as more than a friend, then things can change for her. Episode 8 might be the one that builds the basis for such a romance. A new character introduction might be possible. However, we feel like it's more likely to have someone we already know and love as a new romantic interest for Amy. Who that may be, you might ask. Well, in our opinion, Sam is the perfect candidate for Amy. He is a fellow rancher who never hesitates to help Amy whenever she requires it. He is a lovely man with great manners. It's also clear that he has a certain admiration for Amy. We feel like Amy might also have an interest in him. We can see that she already cares about him as a friend. In time, her perception might shift. At this point, we also mention Lindy's situation. We know that Lindy is everything for Amy. She centered her all life around her daughter. Therefore, whoever will come to her life will have to be approved by Lindy first. Since Lindy is still a little child, she is handling her father's loss relatively well. However, we are not sure if she is ready to welcome another man into the family, and that might be a challenge for Amy. We believe that episode 8 will witness Lou and others insisting on Amy to start dating again, and her resisting these social pressures, only to give up later on. We also expect from this episode to witness a rodeo or a horse race that Tim will also participate in. Previously, we watched a scene in the season's trailer that showed a man falling from a horse during a race. It was a short but powerful scene. It was clear that the fall wasn't an easy one and the man on the horse will probably be injured heavily. In our opinion, Tim is the man in question, and we might see him getting injured in episode 8. Back in summer, before the release of the season, we heard that Chris Potter, who is portraying Tim in Heartland, wants to leave the show since the set is far away from his home. Of course, these were all just rumors. But still, we can't help but wonder if we might witness yet another death in Heartland. What do you think about the upcoming episode? Do you think Heartland can survive the death of yet another beloved character? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.